Welcome to The Explainer. You've probably heard the terms bookkeeping and accounting thrown around, maybe even used interchangeably. But are they really the same thing? It's a super common mix-up, but trust me, understanding the difference is absolutely crucial for any business. So today, we're going to break it all down.
All right, let's dive right in with the big question on everyone's mind. Is this just a matter of titles? Is an accountant just a fancy bookkeeper? The answer might actually surprise you. So let's get into it and find out why this isn't just about semantics.
Okay, to really get this, we've got to start from the ground up. I mean, the absolute foundation of a company's financial world. And that foundation? It's bookkeeping. It's all about answering one simple but super important question. What happened?
So what is it really? Well, at its heart, bookkeeping is all about the daily grind of recording everything. Every single financial transaction. We're talking every sale, every purchase, every single payment that goes in or out. It is, quite literally, the groundwork.
A good way to think about it is that a bookkeeper is kind of like the company's financial historian. They're meticulously writing the diary of the business, entry by entry, transaction by transaction. And here's the kicker. Every single detail has to be perfect, because if that history isn't accurate, well, everything that follows just falls apart.
And listen, this is not just about typing numbers into a spreadsheet. Nope, it's a really structured process. Step 1, you record all those transactions. Step 2, you post them to the right places in what's called the general ledger. Think of that as the big main financial book. And finally, step 3, you produce something called a trial balance. It's basically a check to make sure all the ins and outs line up perfectly. The whole point is to create this pristine, totally reliable set of data.
Okay, so we've laid the foundation. Now let's talk about the structure that gets built on top of it. That's where accounting comes in. And if bookkeeping asks what happened, accounting takes it a step further and asks the really big question. So what? What does all of this actually mean?
Right, so accounting takes all that beautiful, clean data that the bookkeeper put together, and it starts to interpret it. It classifies, analyzes, and summarizes everything to turn those raw numbers into something you can actually understand and use. It's a totally different ballgame. It's analytical, it's about finding the story in the data.
And this, right here, is where the magic happens. This is the whole point. Accounting takes that financial history and turns it into a crystal ball of sorts. It helps a business understand not just what happened, but what's happening right now. And even better, it helps them chart a course for the future. It's all about making smart, strategic decisions.
So, what does an accountant do all day? Well, it's a lot. They're the ones putting together those big deal financial statements, the balance sheet, the income statement, all that stuff. They're analyzing everything to find patterns and trends. They're the ones who report back to the bosses and investors to say, hey, here's what's going on. They're helping to plan for growth, and a huge part of their job is making sure the company stays on the right side of the law, with taxes and regulations.
All right, let's really nail this down. We're going to put them side by side, because seeing them together like this, well, it makes everything click. Okay, check out this table. It lays it all out perfectly. Look at the goal. Bookkeeping is about recording. Accounting is about interpreting. Total opposites. Time frame? Bookkeeping is in the trenches, day to day looking at the past. Accounting steps back, looks at the big picture, monthly, yearly, and focuses on the future. The skills needed are worlds apart too. You need to be super detail-oriented for bookkeeping, but you need to be analytical and strategic for accounting. And the final product? A bookkeeper gives you ledgers. An accountant gives you reports and analysis. The so what?
So, if you're going to remember one thing, remember this. Bookkeeping is all about the what, recording and accuracy, making sure the numbers are right. Accounting is all about the why, interpreting those numbers to find powerful insights.
Okay, so they're different. We get it, but who cares? Why does this actually matter? Well, for any business, from a tiny startup to a huge corporation, this distinction is everything.
Oh, I absolutely love this way of thinking about it. It's perfect. Bookkeeping gathers all the ingredients, measures them out, chops them up, gets everything ready. But accounting? Accounting is the chef. They take all those raw ingredients and create an amazing meal, something with real value. See? You can't have one without the other.
Because when you put them together, that's where the magic happens for a business. That perfect accuracy from bookkeeping combined with the killer insights from accounting, that's what leads to smart decisions. That's what drives real growth. And it's what gives investors and banks the confidence to get on board.
So it's never a fight between which one is more important. That's the wrong way to look at it.
They're not opponents at all. They're partners. They're two halves of a whole, and both are completely essential for a company's financial health.